if we're gonna get like hella technical, like the highest rate of return is a college degree with no debt.
Hey everybody, buzz to you, buzz.
Hello and welcome to the first official episode of the What's Buzzin podcast. I'm your host Jacob and my co-host here.
What's up? I'm Drew.
And today we're going to be talking about Roth IRAs.
Alright, Jacob, so a lot of us regular old folk, a lot of us young people, don't really know what a Roth IRA is. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what you know about Roth IRAs and what exactly that is?
Alright, so a Roth IRA is just like a normal, retirement account, but it is solely based with post-tax money, and it's capped at certain amounts where you can put in each year, and you can only make a certain amount of money before you can't put in any more into it.
So what is that amount?
So it just changed for the 2019 tax season, and it is now capped at $6,000 up from $5,500.
Is that per year?
Yeah, it's per year.
So you can put in $6,000 into this fund per year, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
And how does that grow?
So it grows, since it's tax deferred, let's say, you make X amount of money each year, you can put all that money in there, put $6,000. You can't write that stuff off on your taxes since it's post-tax, right? But as it grows tax-free.
So how does it grow exactly? Does it get interest? Like, what's the interest rate on it if it does gain interest?
So they're all just put through, at least mine is in just the mutual funds.
Okay, do all of them go through mutual funds? You can choose what it goes into.
I mean, you can choose what it goes into, but it's all, mutual. Like I go through American funds, and it's just in like an aggressive growth fund of America. It's focused on really small, medium-sized companies that are growing up.
All right, so why should we care about Roth IRAs and saving for retirement if we're only young? If you're under 25, why should you really care about that? Because that doesn't give you you don't see any immediate results. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotcha. So the best thing with the Roth is, we're making, how much do you make last year,
Wow, I don't freaking know. Not enough. I'm making $8 an hour.
Here, I have my W-2 right here. I made $18,000 last year.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm, balling out here. But, so theoretically, we're both in college, right? So in 10 years, we're not going to make an $18,000, are we?
Hopefully.
Hopefully not. So in 10 years, when we're making, hopefully, upper...
I make 6 figures, my guy. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm aiming for upper 5s, maybe a low 6. We can put all that money in now, have it grow, and then once we hit the max at 135,000, we can't put any more money into it, and so you just have to watch it grow. The rest of your working career, and that can be money you give to your kids, or that can be money once you can spend it all the time. Once you hit the retirement time, pull it out. It's just at 59.5.
So, does that $135,000 is that money you put into it, or once the included with the interest and stuff like that? Once it hits 135, can you not make any more than 135, or are you only allowed to put 135 into it yourself?
That 135 is like an income thing. It's like once your W-2 says you make $135 and $1 over it, you can't contribute to a Roth IRA anymore.
Okay.
It's like a government. It's like, hey man, you make too much money, you gotta chill out, kind of thing.
So one thing that is really important with this kind of thing and investments as a whole is the time value of money. There's different types of the time values of money, such as a annuity or just a straight upfront investing all the money at one time. Which do you personally feel like is a better option? Investing more money at the beginning, or doing smaller amounts throughout a longer period of time?
I mean, just from what I've read and what books say, I think personally the sooner you start out, the better. Have you seen that little graph where it's some dude starts when he's 18 and ends when he's 28? Some dude starts when he's 28 and goes until he's 60. And the guy who starts earlier always has more money in the end. I think it's like the Ben and Graham graph. You can look it up. It's kind of interesting. But I mean, it's the biggest thing is starting early. We're 20, we start now, we're good, and then consistency. I have my Roth set or it takes $250 on the 1st and $250 on the 15th. That's from my bank account immediately. I don't see it, oh well.
So you don't miss it.
Exactly, yeah, I don't miss it, and then takes it and, just throws it into my growth in America. And
so you think it's better to invest like $1,000 a year for 10 years rather than investing $10,000 just straight up at 20?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, if you were going to do $10,000 at 20 and never do anything else, I think you'd be better off doing that than doing $1,000 a year.
But who has $10,000 to do at 20?
Yeah, I mean, that, and then it messes with the algorithm, not the algorithm, the limit.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you put like $6,000 in this year and that's it, like we could go run an equation and see what it would be, if we average 10%. But
that's a lot of money for someone like young to put into a retirement fund when there's other things that need to be done.
Yeah. So with school and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Unless you can like have it in stupid high savings rate, it's kind of hard to max that. Like, I think I'm at like I didn't max mine out this year. Like I'm still putting money in it for previous tax years. Like you know how they switch in April. Like I'm still contributing to 17's or 18's tax year, and then once April finishes, I'll switch over to 19. But yeah, I mean it's not like $6,000 or for last year it's 5.5. It's just that's a lot of money, especially at our age. But once you get older, I mean, once we get like a full time big boy job, we'll probably make like 50, 60. I mean it's not chump change, but I mean I would hope it's doable. And now a quick word from our sponsor.
This episode of the What's Buzzin' podcast is brought to you by Buzzin Brothers Honey, a local Oklahoma City honey company. Use code podcast for 10% off any order on okchoney.com. So what are some alternatives that a person could do instead of a Roth IRA if they weren't quite sure if they wanted to go full out on a Roth IRA?
I mean, I would suggest to do a Roth IRA anyway, but I would say, like, let's say you max out your Roth IRA and you're working, you could have, I would just go to your company's 401k, or, let's say you're not working at a company, or let's say, you are trying to, like, save for a car. You could put money into either a savings account, or you can put money into a self-directed IRA, which is kind of like a Roth, but you pay taxes on it. Those are kind of a whole shenangle, because you got to pay capital gains when you sell and all that stuff, which just kind of sucks. But you can do stuff like that. But if you're looking solely from retirement, I would go with just your 401k and try to max that out, which is like $19,000, which is a lot of money. But
so what are the benefits of investing in a Roth IRA or your company's 401k rather than investing your money in the stock market or in individual stocks?
So either one is better than just putting money into a self-directed IRA, since it's self-directed. It's not like government or government like let's say authorized. It's kind of like something like almost under the table kind of thing. Well, it's not under the table. They know, but like it's like extras. It's like extra. It's like what really rich people do. It's like really extra stuff where we're not at that point where we have $100,000 we can just throw in a self-directed IRA. But I guess the benefits from a Roth to a 401k is your Roth is maxed at $6,000. It's post-tax money, so it's money that's come out of your.
You don't lose any tax money out of it because it's post-tax.
Yeah, like you can't write that off on your taxes. Confirmed with a 401k where you can let's say you put $6,000 in there, I can decrease your tax bill by $6,000. The 401k's got a much bigger limit. Some companies have a 401k Roth, which is kind of cool, and its limit is actually the same as a normal 401k, but it is all still post-tax money.
So what would you say for a kid that's working a part-time job where they might not have their company they work for might not offer any part-time benefits such as matching 401k or any 401k benefits, anything like that, since most part-time jobs don't offer that?
Yeah.
So what would you recommend a college-age kid or high school kid working do if they wanted to invest some of this money?
I think the first thing you gotta make sure, like, is your school paid for? Like, like that if we're gonna get like hella technical, like the highest rate of return is a college degree with no debt. So make sure your school is paid for, and then I would, if you have any extra money, just throw it at a Roth and just let it grow, and then just kind of like in the first when I was working at Men's Warehouse, I was putting like $1,500 in a Roth each year when I was like 18. So I was putting just a tiny little bit, and I've scaled it a lot since I'm making more money now. But you just gotta slowly, just it's a race. It's not a sprint,
So what external resources can someone do to find out more information about this? Would you recommend reading a book, going to a website? What would you recommend for people to find out more information about saving for retirement, Roth IRAs, and that type of thing?
Man, the internet's a great resource. There's so many books written about this stuff by Dave or by, a ton of personal finance bloggers. There's a ton of resources. The best thing, if you know anyone in the financial industry, I would go sit down with them and buy them a coffee and just spend 15 minutes talking about what's the best thing you can do at, they're certified, ask them, what should I do? I'm 18, I'm 25, I'm 30. Sit down with them and ask, it's their job. Ask what they think you should do, and kind of go from there just to start off. And they're kind of like a lead off guy. They can set you up, and then it's kind of up to you. You got to be able to.
You gotta be able to hit them home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta hit something in the gap.
You gotta be able to score from first.
Yeah, easy. And then it's all about being, diligent and delaying gratification. I've put I think my Roth's at $8,000 right now, and it's like, oh man, $8,000. Yeah, it's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money for a young person.
I'm 20, and that's like a new car. Not a new car, but
a
different car.
Yeah.
But it's like I got a 2011 Altima that's still rocking, so I'm gonna hang out with that until it breaks.
So one thing you're saying kind of is that you have to make some sacrifices. You gotta give up some things in order to do this for the long term.
Yeah, man, I don't want to work till I'm 40. I want to curse, but screw that, man. That sucks. Working sucks.
Yeah,
100%. Working is not fun. At least right now.
Work and school at the same time.
Yeah.
Very not fun. Yeah. But you got to do it.
It's not exactly. Yeah. I always see it's like the risk of me not going to school is me being stuck at some job I hate. When I was at Men's Warehouse, I would talk to my manager Dan. He's like, Jacob, you're going to school, right? I was like, yeah. I was like, hell yeah, Dan, I'm going to school. And he's like, good, because if you don't, you're gonna be stuck here. And that's not what I want to do at all. I want to be in a position where I can help people or do whatever I want.
Mm-hmm. So to wrap it all up, what are your final thoughts on Roth IRAs?
To sum it all up, it's the best financial instrument the government has given us to build wealth. The government wants us to be able to do this. That's why it's, post-tax. That's why, there's some limits on it, but it's given here for the average Joe to, move up in class or move up in, income and wealth. And it's, it will make you rich. If you consistently do it, you can be a millionaire, or you can retire, with dignity, or you can, retire early and do whatever you want.
And it's really important to focus on the long term rather than focusing on immediate goals, because you're really trying to not work your entire life until the day you die. You want some time off in your life to really enjoy it, and you'll have a lot more money to do that with if you invest now into long-term goals rather than investing in a lot of little short-term financial goals.
Yeah, exactly. Drew, would you say, you ready to go open one?
Probably, man. How would you go about opening one? How would someone go about opening a Roth IRA account?
I know you can do one with Vanguard, and they're really, really low. They're cheap, and they do no. I don't know if they do exactly no fees, but those are all self-directed at Roth. I do American Funds. It's managed by a bunch of nerds who are smarter than me, and they take So is there a website you can go on, or if you're going, where do you go somewhere to do it, or you can just do it online, or what? You have to go through a financial institution like Vanguard or American Funds or Fidelity or something like that. But there's different you can do a Vanguard where it's more of you just pick stuff like an S&P index fund and a Roth, or you can go to American Funds, which I have the Growth Fund of America, and that's managed by a dude, and I pay him like 4% off the top, whatever I put in, then it's managed for life. So there's pros and cons to either one.
But that's another podcast.
Yeah, it's another topic for another day. But either way, just do it. Just make sure you start. Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate all the feedback and all the love we've received in the first episode. We look forward to helping young people and helping people in general just better with their finances. And just don't forget, dreams don't work unless you do. Thank you.
Be sure to follow Buzzin Brothers on Twitter and send us Twitter questions, and we can hopefully answer your questions on a future podcast. Also, be sure if you have any honey needs to visit okchoney.com, and always remember to get Buzzin Brothers honey.